Hi everyone, welcome back to my tiny house in the forest. So this is officially the first day of building my new tiny house, and thereby actually also the first day in a new chapter in my life with tiny living. And I think what I will call the phase 3 of my experience with tiny living altogether. So, but I will talk more about that later in the video, what this house will mean for me in this greater transition of rebooting my life, really. So, but right now I'm ready to build. So the last couple of days I took down some trees and then I scraped off the soil, the topsoil, to make it more even. And then I marked up the 4 corners and measured the diagonals of the house. They have to be exactly the same. And if you're interested in how to do that, there are like 2 methods I think that you can use. I find it the easiest just to take like this formula where you take the square root of the one side multiplied by itself plus the other side multiplied by itself, and then you get the diagonal. But you can also use a method called 3, 4, 5 that I know a lot of carpenters here in Denmark they use. But anyways, I'm really excited to do this now, because I've never made a foundation like this with these so-called ground screws. So I have screws in 2 lengths. So this is the short one, 1200 millimeters, and this is the longer one, 1.4 meters. And this long one will carry the outer walls and also the gables. And the shorter ones will carry the floor inside of the house. So I'm really excited as to how this will go down. No pun intended, but I really am, because it's just totally something new to me. But it is a much more sustainable way of making a foundation, because obviously you don't have to pour a lot of concrete into the soil. By doing it like this, you could, if you want to move the house in the future, you could move the house and then you can take these up and then the soil will be totally untouched in a way. So it is hopefully a sustainable model also for the future. So right now I think I will have a go with the with this machine. It's really heavy. So it's so heavy that I think that it could almost drive the screws down into the soil by the weight alone, because it is heavy machinery. But anyways, I'll give it a go and then see how it goes. So if you are a little bit confused by now, or maybe even frustrated on my behalf, then don't worry, you're not alone, because I was that yesterday. But yesterday what happened was that I actually realized that once again I need to remove the house. It's not the perfect spot for it. So the thing that happened was, once again, that I cleared some trees and then a whole lot more sunlight came in. And then I realized that this place where the old house is, or at least this outhouse, it is actually the perfect spot for the new house. Because now sun finally comes in and shines on the house, which is what I have been craving for all this time. I was just not into this line of thinking that I could have my house up here, because it has been so shaded all the way along, until a couple of days ago where I took down the trees, and yesterday realized that this is actually the perfect spot for many reasons. For one, it is a little bit more to the north, obviously, so in front of the house there will be like a bigger space for the garden, and I will have much more view down into the property. So that is one good argument, because then I can have a much bigger permaculture garden in front of the house, which will be totally perfect for the house, and I can enter the permaculture garden from the house, and that will be like super nice. And then also the house up here is a little bit more elevated, so the house will kind of have a view down to the garden. And then I will actually be able to utilize my property much better, because obviously the further you have the house to the north, the better you can utilize the sunny space to the south. But that was not the case before, but it is certainly now. And also this spot has like the possibility to get more sun during the day, like the early morning, the midday, and actually also in the evening when the sun goes down over the meadow. And then this spot is closer to the parking lot. And it's also like for technical reasons, when I need to get in the sewer tank and all the cables for electricity and everything, it will be more easy from this direction. And actually, if I want to build out the house in the future, I will have more space up here to do that, and all with a good view to the meadow on that northern end of the property. Yeah, so there are just so many good reasons. So the question is, what will happen now? And I just spoke with a neighbor, and he has a tractor. And he will, within a month or so maybe, help me pull out the house in front of the garden out into the forest garden. Because when the house is moved away from this position, then I can clear this lot and make it ready for the new house. And then I will sell my old house sometime during the winter or maybe during the spring. So it will just temporarily be in the front garden. And I will have to get used to that, I guess, but it is only temporarily. Then I will need to take down this outhouse and also the wood shed on the backside of the house and the shed with my water tank. So it will be a lot of work, but maybe a couple of days work with that, and then I can get the house out, and then I can get started with the new house. And actually today my building materials for the new house arrived. And I'm also buying second-hand windows and doors for the house. And obviously I already have the foundation, so I'm really ready to get started. And then it will just have to be a little bit more postponed, but like it doesn't matter in the long run. It's more important that the house is situated at the perfect spot. So actually, even though it sounds a little bit tedious for me to be doing this useless work, it is not actually useless in my opinion, because I couldn't have realized this if I hadn't done the other things. And now I just have this perfect opportunity to create a really sunny permaculture garden that can be really productive in front of the house. So I will have two projects during the winter: building the new house and also getting ready to establishing the new garden, and also designing the new garden. And I'm really excited about that, both of the projects. So it will actually be a great winter, and I'm really looking forward to it, even though it sounds like a lot of hard work, and it is. Like there is enough work for me in this to be just going at it for a year, but it doesn't bother me because that's why I'm here. So I really cannot wait to show you the entire process and also just to get started. But right now I'll just take a cup of coffee and just relax and just take it all in, especially because it's such a beautiful day today. So I just moved inside because it got a little windy outside. But I also just wanted to add, like on a personal note, that I was really relieved when I made the decision to postpone the building project once again, because I kind of felt a little bit stressed about the whole process, because I wanted to make the roof before November, because here in Denmark we get a lot of rain in November, so it would be nice to have the roof done by then. And I could just feel that it just made me feel a bit stressed even before I even started building the house, because I know how much time it takes to do it. And then it would mean that I wouldn't be able to enjoy like the building process, but also the beautiful weather here in the autumn, and maybe go on a fishing trip or a hiking trip in the area. And then it just hit me that I'm rushing my life way too much. When you think about, I actually left the rat race in the city for a reason, namely for me to have a more peaceful life and enjoy what I'm doing more. So if I feel that I'm rushing everything and getting stressed about it, then I'm not doing it in the right way. So I should be enjoying every step of this journey as much as possible, because I know how much of a privilege it is for me to be living like this. And also with the channel, because right now I've been releasing a new video every Friday, and even though I like to release videos every week, and sometimes it's just hard for me to get the videos done because I can't control all the variables that influence me producing a video, like the weather, or maybe if something happens that I need to wait for outside in like other people, or I don't know what. But like a lot of things can happen, and it can influence me producing my video. And often I only have like 2 to 3 days to film everything, and then I also need to edit it and make the thumbnails and the description and the title and everything, and it takes a lot of time to produce every video. Yeah, and it just doesn't make sense that I try to squeeze everything into such a tight time frame every week. So maybe I should be looking at my videos more as creative projects, more than something that has a strict deadline every week, because in a way that's also what I wanted to get away from, this rigidity of the formal and traditional work structure where you have deadlines and everything is very rigid. And I'm not attracted to that, because I'm more of an creative and intuitive person, really. So I think I need to listen more to myself and try to create this channel around who I am as a person, and then just make the best of it, I guess. But I really hope you enjoyed the video, and you're very welcome to leave a like and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, because it helps me a lot. And also it helps grow the channel so it can reach more people. But thank you for now, and see you again next time.